This is Control Your Narrative, where we talk about controlling our narrative. In today's video, we're going to talk about finances. Specifically, we're going to talk about saving money. Okay, the reason why I chose this was because that a lot of people think saving money is stupid and that we shouldn't save money, but those are usually the people that usually start asking people for money, family, friends, co-workers. Well, that's kind of, for me, that's kind of an embarrassing subject because I do not ever want to ask anyone for financial help because for me, that's embarrassing. But that's just in my opinion. But if you have money saved up, you don't have to ask people. You can borrow from yourself. So a lot of people say use credit cards, but that just creates more problems because people never pay off their credit cards most cases. But what you want to do is at least save up 3 to 6 months of emergency savings in case stuff happens. Things always come up. Maybe we misbudget our money and we go spend our money in the negatives in our debit card or our accounts. So, what you want to do is have an emergency savings. So, if you overdraft, then you can cover that. Or if you go broke, then you can borrow from yourself instead of asking someone else. Coworkers, friends, they used to always say, "This is embarrassing. I don't want to have to ask. Can I borrow some money?" For me, that has, I usually tell them, "You're not embarrassed. If you were embarrassed, you wouldn't have asked me that." But, then they'll say it with a weird voice because they don't mean to pay you back. So they'll say, "I'll pay you back as soon as I can." Well, if they had emergency savings or they had money in their savings account, they could borrow from themselves. They didn't have to be embarrassed. But because they ask, they are embarrassed. And they should be embarrassed because they are not financially capable of handling their finances. And I don't want any of you guys to be irresponsible with your finances to where you have to ask someone else for money, where you have to borrow money. That's kind of embarrassing. But this is Control Your Narrative, so I'm going to be straight with you. And that should be our narratives where we don't have to ask people for financial help. We should be independent. If you are a man or a woman, we should be independent. We shouldn't just say we're independent. We should live it. We should have our actions follow. So save up through 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Then work on a budget buffer, which should be about 1 month of living expenses. The Ramsey show says about $500. Either or, you could do either or. That's up to you. But then what I would do is have a small savings account, 3 to 6 months, or maybe 3 months. Emergency funds, 6 months. Budget buffer, 1 month. And that way you'll be secure financially. And that's how I live my life. So I don't have to borrow from other people. So everybody, we got to keep bettering ourselves. Mind, body, spirit, finances. So if you have if you're making $13 an hour and you work 40 hours, you're going to make $520. After taxes, you'll probably take home about $416. So you can take out maybe 10%, maybe 40. We'll just do 40 for a rough estimate. And you multiply that times 52, that's going to give you $2,080 that you have saved up for the year. Then you can file your taxes. Then you can put your tax return in your savings as well, so you can increase it by even more. And that's how you can build up your savings even faster. So you don't have to borrow from other people. You don't have to live broke. One of the most embarrassing things is when I only had 10 cents in my savings After that, I decided to do whatever it takes. I save money from doing babysitting jobs. I saved aluminum cans from soda and all that, and I had friends to help me save their cans wherever they could find it. And I had maybe about 6 yard bags full, and I took it into the recycling center, and that helped me put more money into my savings. So do whatever it takes to build that savings. It's not embarrassing, but at least you're going to be financially secure once you get that 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So everybody keep on building. Don't just blow all your money thinking you're rich, thinking that you're Scrooge McDuck. You don't have to be counting every penny. So everybody keep on building your wealth, and only you can control your narrative.